Hey, hello, hola. Oh, that's kind of dorky. Whatever. Thank you for joining me today. I am on video number 2. Of course, I watched video number 1, which brings me to the fact that I have a little bit of an apology / correction corner. I kind of felt like I came across as not taking IVF very seriously and sarcastically, and that truly is not how I want to portray this whole process, because for anybody that's already been through it, they know it's very serious. For anybody who has this in their future, I want to put out there that it is serious. And if we're just going to be keeping it real here, which is my intent when you come visit me, it's a crazy emotional and financial burden, to be honest with you. So definitely prepare yourself for that and just know it's the facts. So that's one apology. Number 2 apology. All right, so the fact that I didn't feel like I came across serious, I really have like a list here that I'll be looking at, and a list behind the phone there that I'll be looking at, because I'm so rookie here, and I really don't want to confuse anybody. So, number 2 apology, I told everybody that, I did promise actually that I would video my first injection to myself. Oh, geez Louise, it took me 40 minutes. 20 minutes of it, I was on video, and I just thought maybe the fact and the pressure of video is just making me be a spaz. Nope. I went and I got my good old lavender essential oil, and I put a little dabby dab on my collar. I put some earbuds in for that meditation Zen mode style. I sat in my comfy bed, and it still took me 20 minutes. And when it was all said and done, I was like, how did I just waste 40 minutes of my life for this? I mean, holy smokes, I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. And you can do it, because I can do it. So that was Sunday. Today is Monday. I had to do this during work hours, and I was able to do it in under 15 minutes. I couldn't believe it. But thankfully, because I very rarely actually utilize my breaks at work, and I'm forced to now, and I just didn't want to be like taking advantage, and I got it done. So yeah, anyways. So the main thing that I'm here for today is really to talk about how Anthony and I got to where we are right now, which is, we're just trucking along with IVF. So, but before I get started, I, number 1, would like to cheers. Cheers to anybody listening to me talk. While I am still able to have a drink, I'm going to have a drink. Now in a couple months when I'm preggers, it's just going to be a long 9 or 10 months. So, also, cheers. Number 2, I have something for you. Somebody's peeking. Somebody's gonna peek over my shoulder. Who's that? Who that? This is Anthony. This is my husband, everybody. Oh, I gotta make sure he doesn't fall down. Oh boy. Oh yeah. We're gonna get him closer. Anthony! Meet my husband, Anthony, everybody. He's just gonna stand behind me and smile and look nice, and I don't know, I want to make this look better. Yeah? I don't know. And if he was here in person, he would be doing the same thing. So, how did we get here? Well, Oh, by the way, when I cheersed to you, the thought popped in my head that I think we should make my videos a drinking game. Every time I say, or anyways, or first of all, you have to drink. This could get real fun. All right. So, geez Louise, I'm a disaster rookie at this. In March of 2017, we got engaged. Basically, from that point on, we weren't not trying, but we weren't actively trying. And so about 15 months-ish goes by. And during that 15 months, I had thought to myself, probably midway through that, why haven't we had any like whoopsies? Because I feel like should have been an opportunity for whoopsies. And so then I did what everybody says to do and what I read about, which was put in an app on your phone to track your cycle and get those ovulation kits. So tried that, nothing. I thought I'd better be a little bit more serious about this, and so I made an appointment with the local OBGYN. And so I'm just going to kind of talk about that just real fast so I don't just bore the shit out of you. We did some standard procedure, which is reviewing medical history, my own, and family medical history. So as far as my own, the red flag was the fact that I've had hypothyroidism. Oh my God. Hypothyroidism since 2012. And it's been like a constant roller coaster to the point where I've had to do month-to-month monitoring to make sure I'm getting my TSH level to the level that's normal. And as far as then family medical history goes, in pregnancies, I have two sisters. One sister, her name is Mariah. I have a niece and a nephew from her. So one of her pregnancies she was conceived naturally. The other pregnancy was via medication, and I believe that was Clomid. So if I can get her to join me on one of these sessions, we'll have her clarify that. And my other sister, Jenny, she conceived her littles, which I have a niece and a nephew from her, via IVF. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking there's just got to be something that we can look at besides my thyroid. But that seemed to be the only thing that they wanted to focus on. Granted, we did do one lab work, which I'm sorry, I can't tell you what it was, but it was normal. And we did one ultrasound to see what the condition of my uterus was, and it was great. So, like I said, the focus was my thyroid, and so that went on from like spring of 2018, late spring, early summer of 2018 to spring of 2019, this year. I just was kind of like, I was just really bummed out and disappointed because I had tried to ask nicely in different ways if we could pursue other things because I knew there was other things to look at, but it just was kind of, they weren't listening to me. And I just was like, okay, I'm good. So I was telling my sister about this, my sister Jenny, and she said that I should reach out to her doctor, Stacy Shimento, who helped her conceive with IVF. So I did. I called in March of 2019, and they're extremely busy. They're just a super great clinic and constantly like fully booked. So I wasn't able to get in for about 6 to 7 weeks, if I remember correctly, because I called in March and was in mid-May. So I sat down with Dr. Stacy Shimento, and she had already reviewed my medical history and asked me what questions I had for her. And of course, number one was like, I was like, is it my thyroid? Is this the problem? And she assured me that no, it was not my thyroid because of all the questions that she asked and the answers that I gave told her it's just, anyways, sorry. Where was I? Yes, I am a spaz. And I have ADD and I apologize. So, um, what else? We have a conversation and she asks, "What do you want?" Which kind of like set me back for a moment. I was like, "You're asking me to tell you what to do," which in the end, I really appreciate. Like, that's just doesn't, I don't feel like that happens very often. So I told her, I was like, "Well, I want to be pregnant by September." And so she said, "Deal." She knew she's a military wife herself. So she knew, I explained to her how Anthony was deploying and September would be the last chance that I basically have access to my husband. And so we just moved right along. So that was May, mid to late May. So she said, let's do 1 month of standard procedure and you do what we tell you to do, which is basically I have to tell them when my cycle day 1 is, and then they tell us when I have intercourse. No go. No positive pregnancy test. So they scheduled me right away to do a fallopian tubal test. I think I'm saying that right. And that went great. And they did some more blood lab work, like 2 different ones. Fine, normal, good. So with that being said, they said you're a good candidate for IUI, which is, because I feel like I always say this wrong, intrauterine insemination. For some reason, the word insemination just feels like a bad word to me. So hopefully I noted that correctly. But I just always call it IUI. And I did a medicated version of IUI. So what just standard IUI is, it's a treatment that involves placing sperm inside of the uterus, which increases the chance of fertilization. So basically what would happen, and we did this for 3 months. We did July, August, and September. So we would go to a clinic. Anthony would give a sample. They give the sample a nice little washy wash. Then I take the sample, bring it to the actual Bozeman clinic, and they put that sample right up on in there. So anyways, 3 of those, just a no-go. So once again, immediately we scheduled the IVF consultation because we were kind of at the end. It was September, the goal hadn't been met. Anthony was going to be leaving very soon. So when we had the IVF consultation, we purposely picked a very aggressive schedule. We knew that we just wanted to be pregnant sooner than later, whether he was here, whether he was not. All during the time that we were doing the IUI stuff, I was planning in the back of my head because that's just what I do. Plan. I just thought to myself, I was like, either during the last IUI or if I have to look at other options, I'm going to need access to my husband. So how does this happen? Well, cryobank, my friends. So this is how this is happening for me while Anthony is deployed. So yeah, that's a really like fast, short, quick to the point version of how we are where we are. It is what it is. Like I said, we are very, very, very fortunate and extremely, extremely thankful that this is an option for us. I mean, I don't even know. We're going to make this family thing happen. I'm telling you. So that's what I got for y'all. Trying to keep these videos like very short since they're pretty boring. They're not edited. They have no music. I just ramble a lot. But we should totally turn this into a drinking game because it just sounds like a lot of fun. And then you all should let me know how that goes. But so let's talk about injections for 1 second because I do have a third and final for this particular protocol that I have to do during work hours tomorrow. So I need a drink. Pardon me. Cheers, babe. So how do you roll around with all of this stuff? You'll see what I mean by all of this stuff when I actually do my opening of my medication boxes that I got and show you the medications. And then how do you store them? How do you carry them around? Because for me, literally, I'm always either, as far as my injections go so far, or my other medications, I'm working or traveling. And like all the time. Literally one or the other. Because that's just my life. So anyways, let me show ya. I have this cute little backpack that I told you about before. So I roll around with this, and obviously outside of like work or the gym, like my normal places, what stranger's gonna question this, you know what I mean? Even in those two places at work, they're probably thinking, okay, Stevie's got a breakfast, a snack, and a lunch in here. And at the gym, they probably just think it's my gym clothes. I don't know. Who cares? But, so, open this bad boy up. I always have a little pouch, because there's times when you don't have to roll around with all of this. You'll see what I mean, why I say all of this here in a second. But I have this little pouch for kind of like the easier days. But in here I have some hand sanitizer and some wet wipes because it's all about being sterile, you know. But this is the injection that I'm doing for 3 days. I'll have to do them again here in a little bit because I got 8 doses. So I'm not sure when, because it doesn't show on my calendar. It just says do what you're told on this date. But they don't know what they're going to tell me yet. So I'm doing the Ganrelix acetate injection. So this is the one that took me 40 minutes on Sunday. Ugh. But now I know, so I think it was just all mental, and so under 15 minutes today. Let's see if I can do better tomorrow. But it is a needle, so you have to be sterile and safe, and that's what I'm carrying around in here. Is I don't want people to see me rolling around with this, you know what I mean? And then I do have quite a few other things, and I'll explain that at a later time. But, yeah. So now you're officially up to speed to a certain point. There are, like I said, I've already begun the process, but I'm telling you how I got here. And then there's a couple different protocols I've gone through up until today. So we'll talk about that later, but I don't know if I'll do another one soon like I did this one, but I can tell you for sure a couple days after Thanksgiving. Oh man, I got a lot of things coming up on my phone. Oops, sorry, excuse me. This guy gets to come home for their 4-day break before they get shipped overseas. So we're going to do an interview with Anthony, and it's going to be so fun. It really will be fun. I've already approached my sister Jenny to see if she would do an interview. I don't know how I'm going to approach Sister Mariah. She's going to be a tricky one, but it would be super fun to get her on camera here. And I have a couple other ideas. We're going to try and keep this fun, and that's just how I want it to be. So anyways, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. For those of you out there that are feeling like, I don't know, I've felt like a lot of different things, but just don't be afraid to get a second opinion, a third opinion, to tell somebody what you want, because, I mean, time is of the essence here. I mean, I could have saved myself, I feel like, at least 8 months if I just would have went from stage 1 to 3 and skipped number 2. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. I kind of think of this as 3 stages. Number 1 being like the, oh, it's going to happen when it happens. Number 2, the OBG. Number 3, the actual fertility specialist. So don't be afraid to even go like skip 1 and 2 and go to 3. If you just want to be serious about this, don't be afraid. Anyways, again, thank you for joining me, and cheers. Let me know how many drinky drinks you had to take. And night night.